Um, Hi again. Okay, how to start again? Hello. Welcome back. Has been a nice, I think, 2 days since I made the last video or something like that. At least in my real, like, chronologic times. But I guess, I guess being a dancer is fucking hard. But you know what? It's nice about being a dancer is that you have everything with yourself, like you are your own instrument. That's kind of very beautiful, but it's also a bit like painful sometimes, and it's tiring to be your own instrument. Like, I guess when you have like something, you know, like a guitar or a piano or something, like a computer, like if it gets bad you can just fix it or like buy new strings or like tune it. But wow, tune your own body, it's kind of a whole mystery, and at the same time it's a whole trip. And I do love getting tuned every day, and that's kind of something. When you dance, the process of tuning yourself to what do you want to make and which kind of physicality also you want, it's very fascinating. I will say it's kind of like the whole thing. Like, at the moment you tune yourself, sometimes you're like, okay, I have this, now I just need to like rehearse. But it's hard, it is hard to be a dancer in some ways, because the creation process, it starts and ends with your own like self, and there is so much thoughts in the middle. And again, when you go to the studio, I guess you try to like move and try to bring up something, you know, something that you want to like do, action. You want to bring action to the scene, but then you also want to like maybe think about it or like rethink, or you know, like understand why or what it's happening, why are you moving. It's not always necessary to find a why, but people anyway will find it. So I think it's nice that at least you, like yourself, are clear in what or why are you moving. Me personally, when I watch dance, I can totally tell when someone is going somewhere. Doesn't necessarily mean somewhere spatially, like most of the times we are going to places, it's kind of basic notion, but I mean like what's happening in the body, in this dancer's body, like are they really doing it? And yeah, sometimes I just don't find that, and it's kind of hard then to watch dance. I think the easier way to like present myself like some artistic dance piece is like, okay, they are clear in what they're doing, they kind of know, and then if they know, I will know. And that's one of the main things that happens when you arrive to studio, is that you need to understand why are you moving. And if you're just warming up or like finding some nice movements that you like, that you see yourself in the mirror or something like that, it's like, okay, but why? And the why, it's not really important, but you must have some kind of desire, I feel. So you arrive to the studio, you have a desire, what next? I guess dance. I guess you just dance. And I found out that, and this is not something that I found out today moving, but it's something that I realized during so much time, that you can like make music or another kind of art like painting and kind of figure it out in the moment. You can like make a line and then understanding, okay, what next and all that. Or you can have something and record yourself, and then you will kind of listen to it, or someone will listen to you and they can take notes and you can take notes, and the chords are, they can be the same, you know, the colors can be the same, but when you're moving and you are like in the endeavor of movement and like there, you know, in the moment, and suddenly you do something that is like, fuck, that felt amazing, I want to do this is my solo, you know. Sometimes you find that kind of things, and where the fuck it is, you cannot come back to it like this, you know. It's sometimes disappears in the air, and that's hard. And that was my discovery, that I kind of, it's kind of very important for the process. You need to record yourself most of the times. I found out that while recording yourself, especially in moments of spontaneity, like let's say you start to improvise, it's very important to record yourself, because those are the moments where the most magic happens, and you want to grasp that. You want to really like get that thing. Like today I was found this movement, and while I was doing that, something in me like wanted to stand up, and like it did some kind of nice thing, like a very fluid thing, and I didn't know what I did. I don't even remember, but I was recording myself, and I'm gonna show you now like a little excerpt. You can see it was just a 1 second thing. If I wouldn't have recorded that, that would have disappeared in the infinite ocean of possibilities, and now I have it, and now I can work with these kind of nice things. I can note down, you know, I can come back to these moments and write it down. And yeah, being a dancer is fucking hard, because also like you're gonna get tired and you wanna practice. Let's say you wanna practice and be very skilled, or you wanna have some easiness in the way you're doing this, you know? At least for me, what I most like about dance is like when I can fully immerse myself and not really worry about like, oh, is my knee aligned, or am I there, you know? Am I putting the correct steps, or like the correct like tensions, and oh, I'm doing so much like here, there, I should relax, you know, all these external things that are kind of more part of like a technique, or like let's say how your body is understanding the movement. I want to also let that go and be able to be present, because a lot of dancing, it's also performing, in the sense that you should be present, and then people will be there with you. I could tell so much times I'm watching something and I can tell they get lost and they also lose me, and it's a pity. I try to not get lost by these moments, but yeah, it's very nice. And I know I'm very picky with myself and like with dance in general. You might say like, wow, this guy is like crazy obsessive about some stuff. He's thinking dance too much, and yeah, that's kind of a thing. I think most of the times I tend to think dance too much, but I try to think about it after I'm moving. I will say that's the nice part of being a dancer, that I feel I can go to the studio and immerse myself in movement, and you know, put music, maybe some music that inspires me, or maybe don't put music and listen my breathing and listen the noises I'm making with my own rhythmicality in the floor or with my body, and I'm going to enjoy that, and I can let myself go for hours. But then I do need the recording. I think that's a very essential part of studio time, that if you get the recording, then you can very easily access to thinking, you know. So how do I do it? How do I kind of start this creation process, you might ask? And I will say my process, or my strategy until now has been, first I go and I dance. I do something with my body. I will put maybe a song, or maybe, you know, find something that it goes with my desire, with my intentions. Then I'm gonna maybe stop and think about what I just did in terms of like feelings, you know. So I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna analyze it in any way. I'm just gonna think how that felt, how that thing I just did felt, and I'm gonna write it down in a note, you know. I might even make some drawings. It's nice because notes are for you, so you should just make your own notes. If you want to draw your notes, or like make colors, or like make something like it should be okay, you know. Those are your notes. And then after writing, I come back to dance, and that's a go and forth that I keep. And at the end, after the studio time, I'm gonna maybe close the session. I'm gonna maybe, you know, stretch or do something with my body to like, okay, say, "Bwah, it's done for dance for today." Then I go outside. Maybe I'm gonna sit in the park or find some nice spot, hopefully outside. I want to connect also with the outside world, not to stay in the studio. It's important, go out of the studio. It's not nice to stay there so much time. It's gonna drag you in. And I'm gonna write down what maybe I expect from the things I was doing. Let's say today I found out that I think I really want to use more my gaze, like my eyes, you know, like how I look things. I think they can be a very important thing. And I also wrote down that I think what will be very beneficial for this creative process will be to use gaze and eyes in order to create some kind of storytelling. Let's say I use material that I found today and I want to make a phrase, you know. I thought then I should do some kind of storytelling for myself to guide this phrasing. But it's something I noticed and I write it down outside. I'm going out of the studio to think this. And then I'm gonna come here and sit and I'm gonna pass the videos I took with my camera to the computer and sit down and be more like, you know, actually, you know, it's different. I'm in another mood. Now I'm analyzing it. Not like in a way of like, oh, look at that thing. It's more like going through my own self, my own videos, but like in the state of observer. Now I'm being my own observer. And yeah, sometimes you have the lucky or like, let's say, the opportunity, you bring someone with the studio with you and it's watching you all the time and it's gonna help you with this process while you are moving. That's quite nice because you're getting some kind of maybe like interaction then, and you can for sure find some stuff easier, or maybe you're gonna get a third eye immediately. But my strategy until now, it's my elbow just cracked. My strategy until now has been come here and watch my videos and now saying, okay, nice, I like that. And then I found stuff like this, you know. I'm gonna write down the time so I can come back to it in the video. It's quite like a very standardized thing, but it helps me. It helps me to track what I'm actually doing, what kind of materials I have. And I will say right now I'm in the time of like experimentation still. I found this like limitation stuff, like I'm limiting myself. I'm putting a knee over the other one so I can have some limits. So I'm like, okay, I'm only gonna move with my knees like attached so they cannot like separate. And that's gonna give me a whole new range of movement that I wouldn't be able to access if I don't put these limits to myself. So that's what I'm finding right now. I'm experimenting with limits and with desires and intentions and watching myself in these moods. And yeah, and I will say it's hard to be a dancer, but it's also very fun if you want it to be. So if you're also a dancer or you like to move, that's cool. Keep doing it. Don't try to get too complicated about it. Sometimes you just need to go to the studio and dance. Put a camera, the camera will do the observing for you. You can watch it later. Some magical stuff can happen, you know. The studio, it's also a magical place for some time. Also go out. I think I should have some time outside also. One day I should go and do the same session in the park. What thing can happen? Maybe rain, it's gonna come and Brussels gonna surprise me with some input and nature is gonna do his thing and I'm gonna get more source material. Well, that's now for today. I guess you will never need a reason for going to the studio and move, so have a nice time and see you in the future.